For this last module, I want to talk about cleansing your vessel and truly seeing your body as a receptor for energy, and how we go about that, and how do you clear your vessel physically, because it's just like maintaining a vehicle like your car. You're not going to be irresponsible with the way you treat your vehicle, because it's not going to run well. You're going to take care of your equipment. So that's what it's about. You also have to take care of your body, of your vessel, because essentially your body is your vehicle. It's the car you're driving around with in this lifetime. And there's not enough people that link your physical health to your spiritual health, and everything is connected, because your body is a physical manifestation of the energy that you are walking around with in this lifetime. So if you are out of alignment, if you are sick, then those are all just energetic manifestations, and that is automatically going to influence the stuff that you are getting from source, the input that you are receiving. So if you want your intuition to be crystal clear, to be strong, and to not be muddled or unclear, then there are some tips and tricks that can help you with making sure that you get the clearest possible input from source energy, and that you can clearly tell the difference for yourself between what is your mind speaking, the ego, or source, your intuition, your higher self. There is some controversy within the spiritual community whether you should be a vegan, vegetarian, if it's allowed to eat meat, if you want to be spiritual, and if you are building up karma by eating meat. And the thing is, this there's some teachers that will say that you can only be completely aligned with source energy if you're not eating animal products. But then there are other people that are saying that if you eat animal products in a conscious way, that you can obviously still be aligned with source energy. And for me, I think it's really an individual thing for everyone. The thing is, I have been a vegetarian for part of my life. I've even been completely plant-based for part of my life. I have been a vegetarian that still ate eggs and cheese, and it's all just about what works for you, and again, going within and seeing what feels right energetically. But the trick and the thing to remember, as with anything you consume, is that you have to have moderation with everything. It's just like coffee. Some people say that you shouldn't be drinking coffee or whatever, or alcohol. And again, that is everyone's individual thing, what feels good for them. But just like with anything, you should apply moderation. You can abuse coffee and drink 10 cups of coffee every day, or you can abuse alcohol and drink nothing but alcohol, or you can even abuse hamburgers and eat nothing but hamburgers. I'm just saying, just real quick, personally, I choose to not drink alcohol, but I don't think that if you still choose to drink alcohol, that that necessarily means that you cannot be trustworthy, intuitive. But I just choose to not drink it because I don't feel like I need it for anything, or that it's a value to my life. But if you still drink the occasional glass of wine or something every now and then, and again in moderation, then that does not necessarily have to mean that that doesn't have to stand in the way of you developing your intuitive abilities, I think. If you make sure that you stick to trying to eat as healthy as possible, that you try to prepare fresh foods, not packaged foods, just as pure as possible. And the thing is, I personally, I'll just say what my diet looks like personally. I do pay attention to eating whole foods, so I try to avoid processed foods, but I'm not going to make myself feel bad if I eat processed foods because, of course, I will sometimes eat processed foods. But an average meal for me looks like eating a bowl of granola and eating free range eggs, organic free range eggs. Um, I don't drink dairy, no cow's milk, just because I don't feel good about that. But if you still feel like that's something that you need, then that's okay. Just don't drink 10 glasses of milk in a day. You don't need, nobody, no adult needs milk like that. You don't need that. You could add it in your cooking, in your recipes and stuff, or when you eat cereal. But as long as you use it in moderation, then I guess it's okay. And if you feel like you just, for you to feel good, that you have to skip dairy completely, then that's fine. You can do that. And I think it's just really all about moderation and staying to whole foods, and also trying to replace your the stuff that you eat with the healthiest version possible. Like my granola, I get it from this local shop that adds all organic ingredients together, and you get this really filling, dense granola that has, I think, maybe 70% nuts and seeds in it and raisins, and it's all organic, opposed to the factory made granola that you get at the store. It's a whole world of difference. So if you like granola but it's too sugary, try to go for a healthier alternative that is sugar free and that is just a bunch of nuts and seeds. And if you like eggs, try to go for free range organic eggs, and not just like the factory eggs with a bunch of chicken cooped that are cooped together in unhealthy circumstances. Try to pay attention to stuff like that. Also with your fruits and vegetables, try to pay attention to the origin of your fruits and vegetables. And yeah, about the meat, try to pay attention if you still feel like you need meat in your diet. What I recommend is that you, if you don't want to become a vegetarian, if you don't think that that is something for you, try to be conscious with the meat that you eat, with the source where you get your meats, and try to limit yourself to maybe twice a week or 3 days a week, because the human body truly doesn't need meat every day. And I do believe that if we do this, we make our body lighter and we can let more light in. And yeah, in my case, I was a vegetarian and then I got pregnant. And because I was very low on protein and iron, I had to start eating meat again. But I started with turkey and certain types of fish that were wild caught, that I knew were from good sources. Because with fish you also have to pay attention, because with the mass production of some of the fish factories, there are dolphins that get caught in the webs, in the nets that they throw in the sea. So because the thing is, energetically, you are going to be building up these things in your body, these energies. So it's a good thing to be mindful of the sources of where you get your food. And because your body is going to absorb that energy, and automatically, if you are conscious of what you eat, then you are going to be sending that energy into your body. And that's also a way to clear your vessel, is to be grateful when you eat and drink, and bless your food and bless your water, just by saying thank you for allowing me to nourish my body. And even with animal products, you can thank the animal that you're eating for giving its life, so that you can have the vitamins of that animal, basically, so that you can nourish your body with its vitamins. So that's something that you can do if you still want to eat meat. What I do too is that I take different supplements, because over the years I feel like our lifestyle has changed too drastically, and we have a very big shortage of magnesium and zinc and vitamin D. Those are three vitamins that the human being would have automatically when we still lived close to the land, when we spent the majority of our days outside opposed to being inside. Because now we spend most of our time indoors. I'm indoors, you see. Most of our time we spend in the house, and because we are not exposed to outside elements, we don't build up as much magnesium. Melatonin is another one. Melatonin, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D. So those are four really good ones to start taking. And spirulina and chlorella, those are very good to decalcify the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is the third eye. And that is basically the physical manifestation of the third eye chakra. And that is a very important gateway to your intuition, of course. That is one of the main channels where you get your intuitive images from, or other intuitive knowings from. So spirulina and chlorella, and I take that every day. I started taking that when I was pregnant, because it also, when you don't want to eat meat, if you want to be vegan or vegetarian, that is a very good supplement to take. It's basically seaweed. And yeah, that used to be in the human being's natural diet years and years ago. But then we started eating different, more dense foods, but that is full of vitamins. So I definitely recommend that you take that. What I also do is every day I make a smoothie, or every other day, or I drink cacao, and that is basically the pure form of chocolate. So cacao beans are the pure unprocessed form of chocolate, and it's actually very healthy for your heart. And there's also cacao ceremonies that they do, where they give you a high dosage of cacao. Nothing happens, you don't get all crazy or anything, but what happens is that your heart chakra, it expands, it opens the heart chakra, which is another good gateway to your intuition. You can also take this on a daily basis as a supplement, just like the chlorella and the spirulina and the zinc and the magnesium and all that stuff. You can take it as a supplement. So that is something that you can do. Just one big spoon in a cup of warm milk. Well, I drink soy milk or almond milk. So, and I do recommend, but that's not really a spiritual thing. That's just my own thing, that I know that a lot of cows are very sensitive beings, and basically they have to get pregnant over and over again and create calves, which are then taken, they take away the babies from the mothers so that they can keep on giving milk. But it's been proven that the mothers suffer tremendously emotionally from being separated with their babies over and over again. And there are other alternatives, such as almond milk, soy milk, oat milk, coconut milk, all kinds of different types of milk. So that's what I do. I drink a cacao every day, and I don't necessarily drink it in warm milk. I will sometimes just make a fruit smoothie and add a scoop of cacao, and it tastes kind of just like a smoothie, a chocolate flavored smoothie. So I definitely recommend you do that. It is, I feel that it's given me energy and clarity. And if you drink it before meditation, it creates some kind of a focus, so that you're able to experience that heart expanding energy and stay focused. And you know how sometimes when you meditate, you start thinking about to-do lists, and oh, I have to vacuum, I have to do this, I have to do this. when you drink the cacao first, then you're more focused on your meditation experience, I feel. And now about sugar, a little bit about sugar. I have noticed that when we eat sugary foods, processed foods with a lot of added sugar, it makes you kind of frazzled and you're not really focused. It's the opposite of basically when with the cacao, you get really focused and clear-minded and calm. Sugar does the opposite for our central nervous system. So when you are trying to develop your intuition, you should avoid processed sugar as much as you can. And what I do is when I bake, I use coconut flour sugar. So that looks kind of brown. It looks brown and it's kind of shiny. And you can basically replace all your recipes that ask for refined sugar, replace it with the coconut flour sugar, and it tastes amazing, and it's a slow releasing sugar like fruits. So it's not a fast releasing sugar that just shoots right up in your brain and you're all hyper on sugar. It releases it slower, like when you're eating fruit. So it's similar to that. It's healthier, so you can do that. And also just try to steer clear of the processed sugary foods, especially when you know that you're trying to develop your intuition, because those also calcify your pineal gland, which is the gateway to your intuitive abilities, of course. And of course, I'm not saying never eat sugar again. We are human. We are here. We'll go to parties sometimes. We'll eat an ice cream during the summer. I'm just saying pay attention to using it in moderation. Don't overload on sugar constantly every day, because that is not going to be beneficial for your intuitive development. Basically, how can I explain it? It's like you're a radio and your antenna is your body is your antenna, and when you eat a lot of sugar you get static on the antenna, and you can't find the right frequency. It's like having static, and the messages will not be clear, the voice of your intuition will not be clear. So that's basically what it's like when you eat a lot of sugar. And yeah, another reason why I think it's good to avoid dairy, what dairy does is that it kind of puts a film around your central nervous system and your light body. So what happens is that the messages will be muffled, kind of like somebody that has like that's talking like this and you can't really hear them, you know what I mean? So what you get is that you can't really hear the messages clearly when you eat too much cheese, drink too much milk. So try it out for just a few weeks. Try to add these supplements into your diet. Try to steer clear from the refined sugars. Try to add a lot of whole foods in your diet. Try to pay attention to eating lots of fruits and vegetables. Try to limit your meat intake. And yeah, and also that's just the food related stuff. Go outside every day and just be in the sun. And that's another thing, sunglasses. I know that there's different theories out there about sunglasses. Personally, I kind of stopped using sunglasses a few years ago because I've been told intuitively by my guides that there are certain frequencies, solar frequencies, that we are blocking ourselves from receiving if we wear sunglasses. So if you go out into the sun and you're receiving these solar frequencies, but half of them is being blocked because you have sunglasses on, then you're basically limiting yourself you're limiting your energy that you're receiving from source. And in beginning, it's weird because you're used to wearing sunglasses all the time. You're used to this. You've probably worn sunglasses all your life. And but the thing is, it gets better. Your eyes get used to it, because the thing is, people back in the days, they didn't used to wear sunglasses. They just walked outside. Your eyes just have to adjust again to bright light. And right now I'm at a point where I really don't miss sunglasses, and I truly feel that I get more benefit from being outside in the sun when I don't wear sunglasses compared to when I would still wear sunglasses every day. So those are just some things to think about to clear your vessel more. And for me personally, all of those little tricks have made a big difference in the clarity of the intuitive messages that I've been able to receive. So I hope that this was helpful.